Look, Dad, there she goes.
That's great, son. Right on course. Hi, I'm Wallace Francis of the Atlanta Falcons, and that's my son, Ray. The time we spend together are the best part of my life. You see, I'm a single parent, and I know what it means for children to have a father in their lives. That's why I spend a lot of time here at the YMCA. They're supported by the United Way, and United Way volunteers help them with their programs. But here, they even have a special program that brings fathers and sons together so they can really get to know each other. My contribution sponsors 10 kids at this Y. They do a lot for children who might not get the special attention they need.
The ball is really great, Dad.
That's good, son. We don't have all the answers, but I know one thing. A lot of young people would be off the course of life if it wasn't for the United Way volunteers. Thanks to them, and thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way. Way to go, Sil.
The preceding message was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Ford Motor Company, bringing you a new generation of small, fuel-efficient cars that arrive this fall. Today's Army, join the people who've joined the Army. And by Prestone 2 Antifreeze. It has a silicone silicate formula to lock out rust and corrosion.
There's our halftime score at Schaefer Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, 28-21. And if you are a fan who likes passing, well, we had a lot of it in the first half, John Madden. As we've just compiled the figures here, in the first half, 290 yards in total offense as far as passing is concerned, 23 of 31, 5 touchdowns.
That's very impressive, and of course that's both quarterbacks combined, both teams combined. The impressive thing is not only how well that they've thrown the ball, but there's been a great pass rush, and both of these quarterbacks have shown toughness. We talk about toughness of defensive linemen and offensive linemen, but both of these quarterbacks have hung in there and thrown well under adversity.
In this game, the rushing stats are not all that impressive. Atlanta leads with 60 as opposed to 51 for New England.
Well, you know, really neither defensive team has stopped the others passing yet, so there's not a need for running. And I think it may become in the second half or maybe in the fourth quarter, running may become an important part of the game, and the team that can run the best and control the ball may end up winning this game.
Well, and of course we have a weather factor coming in here. It started raining with about 2 minutes to go in the first half.
You know, but one thing about artificial turf, and I said before, I never did like it, but it does dry a lot easier than natural grass.
But you can see that both quarterbacks hitting a remarkable percentage, 12 of 17 for Grogan, Bartkowski 11 of 14. And Atlanta came into this game, I think a lot of people felt that they're really going to have a tough time staying equal with New England, but they have proved in this first half of play that their offensive output of a week ago was no fluke, as they've come right back in here against this fine Patriots team to score 28 points in the first half. Mazzetti will be kicking off. It's continuing to rain. It did not look that dark when it started raining, but now starting to get more and more that way, and you can see some of the fans, what do we call, adapting to the weather.
That one fellow there adapted by taking his shirt off.
Mazzetti will kick off. Preston Brown, who had kind of a shaky moment in that first half when he almost did not bring a kickoff out, back again for the Patriots. The Patriots winning last week. Atlanta losing a heartbreaker. Like to pull even at 1-1. Patriots will head all the way out west to meet Seattle, while Atlanta returns home for the first time this year since the preseason. They play host to the Miami Dolphins. Mazzetti is ready. Mazzetti kicking very well, hitting 4 of 4 point afters after missing one, a very big one, a week ago in Minnesota. And Mazzetti gets into this one very well. He's been kicking off effectively, as evidenced by that one. Preston Brown won't bring it out. And New England will have it at the 20-yard line.
Mazzetti's kickoffs have been impressive this year, this week and last week, and that's always in addition to your defense. When you know that the other team has to start on the 20-yard line when you kick the ball into the end zone, that's a plus.
Steve Grogan, 12 of 17 in the first half. 2 touchdowns from the 20-yard line. Going to check now offensively. They had some people shaking up. Dwight Wheeler is back in there. He was shaken up just before the end of the first half. He's back in at left tackle. Calhoun and Ivory, the running backs. Jackson in motion. This is Ivory. Big move, but Kuykendall is there. Fulton Kuykendall, who's really a fine football player. One-on-one stop that time.
Yes, and we'll see the defense swarm here. We'll see Buddy Curry coming across. The two inside linebackers, Fulton Kuykendall there. He'll come up and make the tackle. There was no place to go. He started inside, tried to bounce. There was nothing inside, tried to bounce outside, nothing out there.
The thing they say about Kuykendall, he plays every down like it's his last one. Rushing down, maybe a half-yard loss on the play. Grogan, protection there. Tried to hit Morgan at the 38-yard line, but covered pretty well.
And again, a pretty good rush. We talked about the passing that we had in the first quarter, and we were saying that the rush was there. They haven't really got there in a sack, but it's been close. It's been pushing. It's been in the quarterback's face, and we just had another example of that by Jeff Merrill.
Andy Johnson now in there with Chuck Foreman. You see a lot of role playing in football now, don't you? Particularly at the offensive backfield spots.
It's getting to be a real specialist game. 3 wide receivers, running backs for run and pass.
Third down. Virtually 10 yards to go. 28-21 Atlanta with a lead. Grogan having a little trouble with his footing. Trying to roll out to the 20, 25. He has a first down to 35 to the 38-yard line. Steve Grogan somehow got out of all that difficulty and went 19 yards for a first down.
And there's a flag on the play, Gary, but we'll see the play again. When Grogan ran with the ball, usually a quarterback, see, he's flushed out of the pocket. It's not a run. He sidestepped there. He outruns the defender there. Now you expect him to step out of bounds. He turned back into the inside, and I think that was the biggest fake of anything. Most quarterbacks, after they get the first down, turn outside or step out of bounds. He went back against the grain and picked up another 10 yards.
And boy, he went down to protect himself very efficiently. Well, that penalty is against Atlanta. So they'll have the first down. Let's listen to Fred Wyatt.
Holding, number 28, defense, added to the end of the run, first down.
Frank Reed. Well, that moves the ball out to the 44-yard line.
That had to be holding because you can't have pass interference when the quarterback runs.
That's what it was. Ivory and Calhoun, the two running backs. Jackson goes in motion. Reed over there to pick him up. Grogan to Calhoun, and Calhoun looked like he's going to go the other way for a moment. Gets a yard to the 45-yard line. Calhoun has really been a very good fireman type runner. They bring him in, always seemingly doing the job for him. He's not that big, 6 foot 212 for a fullback. He's had 6 100-yard days in his career. Going to bring up second down and 9.
Don Calhoun has also played halfback. You know, if the fullback were hurt, he would go in and play fullback. If the halfback is hurt, he played halfback. He's been a very valuable player for the Patriots over the years.
And a free agent in 1975. That's how they picked him up. Second down and 9. Just underway, second half. Grogan, protection excellent. Throwing to Morgan. Johnson is there. Kenny Johnson, the rookie who was burned last week, that time played Stanley Morgan hip to hip.
He did, and he was in a good position there to make an interception. One thing, we had great passing in the first half, but we also had great pass protection. Watch John Hanna here. He's free in the three-man line, and when someone gets free or starts to get free, that big guy's there to bump him off.
Well, Kenny Johnson really has acquitted himself well in this game, John, after a long Sunday a week ago.
Well, that's the important thing. You know, Kenny Johnson said that if you've never been beaten as a corner, you've never played corner.
New England now, the third down. They've made 6 of 8 third downs in this game. Third down and 9. Grogan's going to be dropped this time. Coming up fast was Mike Zealy, number 63, out of Kent State. He's a backup to Don Smith at nose tackle, but he's played very well last week in particular.
Steve Grogan fumbles the ball here, starts to go down, throws it to the umpire. The umpire didn't work back enough and caught it on one bounce. Had he worked back, he could have caught that ball and taken it into the end zone.
Bad hands. Hubots to kick. The super net. Reggie Smith is back. Hubots hits this one well. Smith at the 20, to the 25, and out of bounds. He's upset. He wanted some running room and couldn't find it. 46-yard kick that time by Hubach. And so Atlanta stops New England on their first offensive series. They have the football for the first time. 12:47 to go, third quarter. They lead it by 7.
So we're going to have to try a new gauge so we can get...
This is what it takes to build tomorrow's small cars.
I want to make sure that...
Experience, technology, skill, and the incredible world of Ford.
So, letzte Berechnung, Herr Dahm, hatte ja gezeigt, dass wir nicht zu eng schneiden.
What if we had a flange?
Okay, that'll strengthen the fender connection line.
This is the Mission Control Center of Ford's incredible world of technology in Dearborn, Michigan. New ideas for the use of high-strength steel, a power-efficient engine, a new suspension system are all right here. Building a new generation of small cars with world-class technology right here in America.
If you could see tomorrow.
Tomorrow arrives October 3rd with the new Mercury Lynx and Ford Escort. Competing with anything in their class.
Ford, that's incredible.
From anywhere in the world.
Ford, that's incredible.
Tuesday night, it's the all-new Linda Carter special Encore. Merle Haggard and Tom Jones join Wonder Woman Linda for a dazzling hour of singing and dancing Tuesday night.
Atlanta with the football in the lead. The first time they've had the football in the second half. It stopped raining here at Schaefer Stadium. The sky starting to get a little bit brighter. And this crowd, very vocal right now. 12:47 to go, third quarter. Bartkowski to Kane. Kane somehow gets out of that difficulty out to the 40 for the first down. He fumbled the ball. Who has it? Atlanta has recovered their own fumble. But John, what an outstanding run by Kane. Looked like he had a disastrous situation.
That was a different formation. He was the only back in the backfield. Andrews was up as a wing. It was a pitch they tried to get outside. We saw Mel Lunsford there, did a good job of containing. So Lynn Kane just stopped, cut right back against the grain, and again made the first down. You don't like what happened at the end there, but the Falcons got the ball.
Warren Bryant, you see him, number 66. He saved the football. They pick up 16 yards on the play. Moves it out to the 43. So Atlanta picking up where they left off in that first half, showing again the ability to move the football. Bartkowski throwing on first down again. And that's Jenkins. Did he get it? Alfred Jenkins, no, they're ruling that he did not hang on or did not get it before it hit the turf. Let's look at it again. A flag, by the way, on the play.
Yeah, flag on the play, and I would say it's probably against the Atlanta Falcons. We'll see this play again. We'll see it right here. Jenkins is doing a good job of running the end, under control, but the ball hit the ground right in front of him.
I would imagine we're going to have holding coming up against Atlanta the way they're backing up.
And it's probably against Warren Bryant if it is holding. It was called by the official on the side, and he keys the tackle closest to him. So if it is in fact holding, it'll be against Warren Bryant, number 66.
Holding, number 66, offense.
Boy, you called that one. You act like that happened to you once in a while while you were coaching.
I knew those officials pretty well, and I knew which one called which penalties, and when I saw a holding penalty coming from the sideline, he only keys one person. That's a right tackle. A lot of scrutiny on the right tackle.
First down and 20. Again, that was Bartkowski throwing on first down again. Junior bounces off of somebody to the 44-yard line. Picked up some of that yardage. Julius Adams over there, number 85, but Andrews, like a fire.
Arms wrapped around him to get him down a.
Yes, it is. They have 7 seconds, as you can see. Well, they'd had a delay of game coming up. So Scott having trouble with the shoe. Bartkowski using what could be a very important timeout with 11:01 to go in this third quarter. The Falcons lead it 28-21.
John Burns joined the Army in March and kept us waiting until October. Kathy Wolf joined the Army in May and kept us waiting all summer. If you're a high school graduate or about to be, you can join the Army now and take up to 12 months to report for duty. That way, if you qualify, we can guarantee you the skill training that makes you happiest. And we think a happy soldier is worth waiting for. This is the Army, a chance to serve your country as you serve yourself. Call this number toll-free.
Using this surgical fiber optic camera lens, Prestone Labs is going to show you what weak, neglected antifreeze can do to your radiator after only 9,000 miles. Look at these passages. Rust, corrosion. Continued neglect could clog them and overheat this radiator. Before this happens to you, put in Prestone 2. Prestone has a patented silicone silicate formula that forms a tough protective barrier to lock out rust and corrosion. Prestone 2 and Prestone Super Flush. No wonder we're #1.
Next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, Hilmer Kenty defends his WBA lightweight title against ex-champion Ernesto Espana. You'll say you saw it on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Gary Bender with John Madden. We just had a timeout called by Atlanta. They couldn't get to the line of scrimmage as Scott had thrown a shoe. So they have 2 timeouts remaining. They have a 2nd down and 10 after getting 10 yards back after a holding penalty. Bartkowski has Junior Miller. The near side is the tight end. His 2 receivers, Jenkins and Francis, to the top of the screen. Andrews in motion. Bartkowski, 2nd and 10, delivers the ball to Andrews, and Andrews is out to the midfield stripe. He's 4 yards short of the first down. Rod Schote, who's a very fast linebacker, had a tough time staying with Andrews.
He did. He had to follow him all the way across the field. Andrews started out in the backfield. He went in motion like he was going to be the lead blocker, continued on and went out into the flat for the reception. That's one thing about these 2 running backs of Atlanta, Lynn Kane and William Andrews. They're really complete players, as we see. They'll block when they're not carrying the ball. They run very hard, tough to tackle, and they also catch the ball.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Atlanta's made thus far 5 of 7 3rd downs. This time it's Miller, and Miller is very close to the first down. Wait a minute, they say he did not have control of the football. He was juggling the ball as he was going out of bounds. Rod Schote again defending on the play, so that brings up a 4th down.
I think that was right again, and we'll see it again, but he has to have control. Not only both feet in bounds, but he has to have control of the ball in his hands. And we'll see him here. His feet are in. He's okay here as he gets the ball here. But you see, he doesn't have control. He doesn't have control. And when he stepped out, he was just getting control.
Very close.
It was.
James to kick. He has an average of 49.5 on 2 kicks in the first half. And he's going to try to hit the corner. Preston Brown's over there, though, and also over there very quickly is Ray Strong as he's run out of bounds at the 17-yard line. And so New England will not have the good field position. That was a 36-yard kick that time by John James. 10:04 to go in this 3rd quarter.
Now comes Miller time. The flag is dropped, the race is a memory. And now you're coasting into the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you got the time, if you got the time, we've got the beer, Miller beer. If you got the time.
No matter where you're going, you can get a low airfare if you know who to call. No matter when you're going, you can get a low airfare if you know who to call. And no matter why you're going, you can get a low airfare if you know who to call.
We're American Airlines.
They're giving Steve Grogan a standing ovation, and the history behind that, John, is they did it last week. They're trying to generate some enthusiasm.
They are, you know, and that's the story of the Patriots this year and their enthusiasm. They've given Grogan a tough time here in this stadium from time to time. Last week they gave him a standing ovation, and they did again today.
On a first down for the 17, Grogan hits Hasselbeck, and Hasselbeck has it at the 25-yard line. Well, some people have said that New England is the type of team that's seemingly always upset by adversity, everything from Chuck Fairbanks leaving to contract problems to the fact that they didn't play with emotion. So maybe the fans feel they can help turn some of that around.
You know, a quarterback can say anything, that the boos don't bother him, but everyone needs to be loved and accepted, and quarterbacks are no different.
Gain of 9, second down, a yard to go. Grogan around the end comes Stanley Morgan. And Morgan really dumped at the 29-yard line. Belted by Frank Reed, but that will be enough for a first down. But did he pay for this one?
He really pays at the end. They aren't used to running the open field like that, but he does a good job of getting rid of a tackler there. He just starts to get upfield and gets it right at the end. That's a somersault or a cartwheel. Which is it?
I don't know, but you got to reorient yourself after that one, don't you?
That's a first down.
That's right. At the 29. 28-21, Atlanta with the lead. New England with the football for the second time in the second half. This is Calhoun and almost picked off by Reed. He had nobody between him and the goal line if he'd have gotten that one.
He would have taken it in. That was a zone. I think that Grogan read that as a man-to-man, and then Reed was just sitting out there in the zone. He comes across, makes it down. Now watch the reaction here after he misses it. He gets up in the air pretty good, doesn't he?
Like he's stomping on some snakes there or something. From the 29, second down 10. But again, pretty good pass defense. On the second and 10, Grogan too short of the mark. Jackson, the intended receiver.
I'll tell you, that's an interesting thing there. You know, as a coach, you're always looking to say, well, what happened? Grogan wasn't able to step up, and that's what happened. So instead of Grogan and saying, why did he throw it low? That was a point. The offensive line allowed too much penetration inside. The center and the guards have to seal off inside penetration so the quarterback can step up and throw it. And on that pass, because it was short, really should be given to the interior of the Patriot offensive line.
Third down and 10. Foreman and Johnson, the running backs behind Grogan. Grogan back, protection, now taking off. 30, and he's not going to get that first down and hit pretty hard. Atlanta reacted very well this time when Grogan took off. I'm sure they talked about that in the first half as Williams and Curry got there.
They probably did, and that's one of the things that you really don't enjoy talking about, because they'll start back in pass defense, and that's what they should do, but they have to keep an eye on the quarterback in case he runs.
Hubac coming in to kick. He has an average of 46 yards on 3 previous kicks. One of them was 65 yards in the first half, and he had another beauty. This is Smith. At the 20, trying to get to the wall, to the 30, 35, and the little guy brings it out to the 38-yard line. Doing a very commendable job after fumbling that opening kickoff. He's done well. Bill Courier over to make the stop. 18-yard return, and that was a kick of some 48 yards in length.
If you give up your luxury car for the gasoline shortage, are you gonna miss all that plush carpeting? Are you gonna miss those big, comfortably upholstered seats? Are you gonna miss that power steering or those little creature comforts like a digital clock or a coin box? Not if you buy our Honda Accord LX. It's got all those things and more. Why not give up your luxury car for a luxury car?
Honda, we make it simple.
Television should be more than an electronic tranquilizer. At its best as an art form, television should touch you, involve you, move you. The art of television, experience it at its best on the one television that is itself a work of art. The Emmy Award-winning Sony Trinitron. Sony, the one and only.
Monday night, don't miss Chevy Chase, Goldie Hawn, and Dudley Moore in an uproarious comedy, Foul Play. Monday night at 8, 7 Central and Mountain, followed by a special showing of MASH.
From Ottawa, Kansas, and Kansas State, Steve Grogan, who's played very well, but in this third quarter on 2 series, they've not been able to move the football. His team trailing 28-21. Line of scrimmage, the 37 for Atlanta. Little draw to Andrews. Andrews breaks the tackle to the 42-yard line. Ray Hamilton made the stop. Andrews He just looks like a little fire plug out there.
That was a good play call. We see it's a draw. The Patriots are basically a 3-man line team. On this play, as we see here, they were in a 4-man line, so they were thinking pass. They want to get some pass rush now on first down, so they went to the 4-man line on first down, and Atlanta came back with a good call against it with a draw play to Andrews.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. 7:13 to go, third quarter. This is Lynn Kane, and Kane has a first down and then some. Check that. Correction, that's Andrews. And Andrews gets a first down, and again showing excellent balance. Getting up very slowly on that play is Roland James, the #1 draft pick from Tennessee.
Roland James was getting up slow on that play because he missed the tackle. He was really faked out. We'll see Andrews come out here. He's not only powerful, but watch these moves right here. Boom to the outside, boom back to the inside. Watch, James goes down, and they run into each other, and Andrews runs right by both of them.
He took his teammate Fox out of the play. But that was Andrews carrying the ball to the 45. First down. Atlanta now starting to establish a running game. First half they had 60 yards. New England had 51. Bartkowski on first down, throwing again, going up top. Alfred Jackson, but overthrown. Jackson, the intended receiver, and Rick Sanford, who was a #1 draft pick a year ago out of South Carolina, had that one defended pretty well.
He did have it defended. He had him all the way, and I think Steve Bartkowski decided he was going to try the up to Jackson, to Alfred Jackson, and if it wasn't there, he was just going to throw it over everyone's head and into the end zone. That's not bad. You really, if it is covered and you're trying to go deep, you can't force it. Just let her go, come back, and try it next time.
Philadelphia trying to win their 2nd in a row after beating Denver last week. 2nd down, 10. But on first down again, as John Madden said, you got to throw a lot on first down. And Atlanta's done just 15-yard line. Ray Claiborne made the stop. And that time, Andrews showed that he can run pretty well. He has good.
He didn't run for an awful lot, but he's making up for it today.
32-yard run. Claiborne, by the way, has been timed in college in the 9.4600. So he had a pretty fair guy catching from behind.
When you get under 9.5, you don't even worry.
Doesn't matter.
No, that's as fast as you can be.
32-yard run. Sets the ball up at the 13-yard line of New England. Bartkowski. And that's broken up again. That's Lunsford. That's the 3rd time unofficially that New England has reached up and batted down a pass.
I know that's not a bad pass defense either. You know, that's one thing that the Patriots have been doing well. When they are pass rushing, if they don't get close to Bartkowski again, they all get their hands up, and that was Mel Lunsford, and that's the 2nd one of those that he had today.
He was the most valuable player lineman-wise last year for New England as voted by the coaches.
I drafted Mel Lunsford 8 years ago.
3rd round, 1972. Played at Central State in Oklahoma. On that last play, Junior Miller was the intended receiver. And Lunsford had other ideas. 2nd down, 10. Bartkowski again. Wide open, Miller. Junior Miller is open. Bartkowski upset with himself. That's the same play, John, they threw earlier for a touchdown.
That's the same play, and I know that's Steve Bartkowski. You know, he has to shake it off, which he's saying to himself now, geez, just forget it. Wide open, there was no one around him. Again, it was a crossing pattern by the tight end. He'll delay a little, let the others get deep, and now he just works out to the side. See, the safety thought that he was blocking. He went back off him, and no one picked Junior Miller up after the delay.
But again, Miller showing the ability to really get open.
He's a big target, 6'4".
3rd down, 10. And New England wants a timeout. They're going to use their first timeout. And that might be at a pretty good time because New England right now, I think, a little shaken by that last development.
I think so, and the fact that they're 1 touchdown down, this can be a very big drive for Atlanta offense and New England defense because 1 touchdown, they don't have to hurry. They don't have to rush. They know all they have to do is score 1. Now, if you're looking at 2, it's a different story. You'd like to get 1 quick and then work on the other one.
Bartkowski now has missed his last 4 passes after in the first half hitting 11 of 14. But the one he'd like to have back was that one with Miller wide open. Saw some other scores. The Lions trying to make it 2 in a row. There's Lehman Bennett. Imagine Bartkowski kind of glad to have a little time to talk it over. It was not his timeout, it was New England's.
I think in this situation, both teams are happy to have this timeout. You know, they've been on the field. They're getting a little tired. They get to rest up for a real spurt here. And again, this is a big play. We have 3rd and 10. I'm sure that New England will come in with their pass defense. They'll have the 5 defensive backs. Atlanta will probably have the 3 wide receivers, because Atlanta here should go into the end zone, or at least for the first down. If they're not going to do that, then they'll get the field goal anyway.
Some changes coming out as Lunsford. They sent in on this particular play Bill Matthews, who's a backup middle linebacker out of South Dakota State. 3rd down and 10. Tim Mazzetti standing by if they don't get it here. 28-21, Atlanta with the lead. Bartkowski, protection there. Junior Miller's there. He makes the catch. Going to be short of the first down at the 9-yard line. Mike Hawkins defending on the play. And 4th down coming up, Mazzetti coming in.
Well, so, you know, we've been talking a lot about Junior Miller, but he's made some super plays. Watch that catch. He reached out, caught the ball at its furthest point, and just great hands. I'm sure that he has very strong hands. I really didn't like that play. I think if you have 3rd and 10, you should get all your receivers up 10 yards, so if you do complete the pass, it gives you a first down or a touchdown. There's no good in completing a pass and still have to kick the field goal.
This will be a 26-yard attempt by Mazzetti. Mazzetti is 1 of 1 this year. He had a 23-yarder last week. Mazzetti's kick is on the way, and Tim Mazzetti hits it. And so it's now a 31-21 football game, a 10-point lead for the Atlanta Falcons, as Tim Mazzetti in 1980 is 2 for 2.
When you can borrow money for the things you need, when you need them.
That's Transamerica Financial.
That's Transamerica. When you go to the movies, and you're glad you did.
It's United Artists.
That's Transamerica. When your property is well insured and your independent agent is understanding.
That's Transamerica Insurance.
The many companies in the Transamerica family all stand for just one thing: first-rate service at a fair price. That's Transamerica.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer.
Building inspector. Hey, what are you guys doing here?
I didn't believe you two could build your own house.
Yeah, well, don't look. It's not finished.
Well, I guess we'll just take our loan, Brown, go home.
Well, maybe one quick look around.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brow.
What are you going to do when you finish this place? Just what I'm doing right now.
A 10-point lead for the Atlanta Falcons. The man who just added 3, Mazzetti, to kick off. Preston Brown is back deep now for the New England Patriots. 5:10 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Mazzetti, who's kicked off extremely well, does it again. Brown will not. Yes, he will. No, he won't. Boy, I don't know. He was sure what he was going to do there.
I think what you said were the same thoughts that were going through his mind. Yes, I will. No, I won't. Yes, I will. Maybe I should. Nope, I'll just stay here and take it on to 20.
Well, after mishandling that one, I think he's a little shaky back there.
I think he is. But here again, if he doesn't go out, then he can go down and get the ball in 20. See, here he's starting out. He said, nope, I'm going to go down. I'll just wait and take that. But he wasn't sure until he got to that point.
Mazzetti's really done the job kicking off.
I think he's out of the hurricane.
Good point. Out of the eye of the hurricane, which really was last year a long season for him. At the 20-yard line, Calhoun, Ivory, the running backs. This is Calhoun, 25, 30, 35, and a first down all the way out to the 39-yard line. Harold Jackson, who was split to the near side, threw a block on that play.
I'll tell you, the other person that threw the block on that play was John Hanna, the left guard. We'll see him. See big number 73 pulling out here. Watch this. Reed comes up, the strong safety. He takes him out right there to let Calhoun get by.
There's Jackson throwing a block too. Gave Calhoun just the step he needed. 17-yard pickup. Boy, you talked about Hanna, and he's living up to everything you said about him.
Run and pass, and he does it all.
Hanna's 6'2", 265 pounds. Grogan with a first down. Calhoun flying up there, ready to really unload on him was Jim Laughlin, as now you see the Patriots defensively, they have been tested today.
They sure have, and they've been having some problems with formations, and basically it's that 3 wide receiver where the Atlanta offense is spreading them across the field, and they're creating some matchups with linebackers that the Patriots are trying to solve.
Rich Schumer, the defensive coach there, former head coach at the University of Wyoming. 2nd down, 10. Line of scrimmage, 32-yard line. Should say 37-yard line. Grogan in this second half is 1 for 6 for 9 yards. This time he hits Morgan. Well, that's Carlos Pennywell who's checked in for the first time, and Pennywell, who had 1 catch last week for 16 yards, grabbed that one. But again, John, Atlanta deployed themselves very, very well. They lost a half yard.
Very well. They weren't fooled on that play at all. It was a play pass fake where they faked a run to the right and came back with a screen to Carlos Pennywell to the left. Dwight Wheeler, the left tackle, got out there and missed a block in front of Pennywell.
Pennywell, 3rd-year man from Grambling. He is a cousin of Robert Pennywell, a linebacker for Atlanta. 3rd down, 11 yards to go. Johnson along with Foreman in the backfield behind Steve Grogan. 31-21, Atlanta with a lead. Grogan will run it again. Now he throws it at the last second. Intended receiver was Hasselbeck, the tight end. That was a surprise. All of a sudden he just rifled a shot.
He did. Grogan is full of surprises. That one didn't work, but you know, the one thing, he can spread the defense. The Atlanta offense is spreading it with personnel. Grogan spreads it by starting and going in a drop back and then sprinting right or left and making them cover the whole field.
Hubach, who's kicked very well, a 46-yard average to kick this one. This will be his 5th kick of the day. Smith back deep for Atlanta. Just inside 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Short kick. Smith's going to try it. The super net kind of squirming around out there. He gets it out to the 36-yard line. A flag has been thrown after the play had come to a close. 33-yard kick that time by Hubach. He's had 2 that haven't been as long as he's wanted, but by and large he's kicked him very well. He had a 27-yarder and a 65-yarder in his 1st and 2nd kicks of this game.
Super Nat's trying to figure out what that penalty is. As you say, it was a penalty that was after the play.
Personal foul against New England.
Yeah.
That'll tack 15 yards on, and Atlanta is going to have good field position. And you said this earlier, when Atlanta has a good field position, they historically have been a different football team.
A different personality. You know, when they're backed up, they don't have that same freedom.
There's an old coach of yours right there.
John Polanchik right there. He's a quarterback coach, and he's talking to Steve Grogan. It's interesting.
Personal foul, number 52, 1st down.
You know, that one was, again, it was after the play. As we watch Supernat here, he let it bounce and said, well, I think I'll take a shot, a little spin here, and then I'll get up and try and get what I can. You know, and he goes down, he spins, and he's tough to tackle. He picked up an extra 5 yards.
At the 50-yard line now, Atlanta with a football. 1st down, 3:48 to go in this 3rd quarter. Bartkowski given off to Andrews, and Andrews 2 yards to the 48.
You know, the quarterback coach for the Atlanta Falcons is Dick Wood, and in my first staff as a head coach, I had both Dick Wood and John Polanchik, both of the quarterbacks coaches in this game.
Polanchik, you're telling me, is the smallest man on your staff, but if you ever had an altercation on the practice field, he broke up all the fights.
He'd break them. He'd just dive in there, and I had these big coaches, you know, and they'd back off away, and old Polani would just jump right in the pile.
Andrews now has 79 yards on 12 carries. 2nd down and 7. Bartkowski, the blitz. Boy, is he hit. Really dumped by Rod Choate. Choate did that last week in that football game against Cleveland.
It was a big one. You know, they haven't been bringing that weak side linebacker a lot in this game, and I think Atlanta started getting those backs out, and they forgot that Choate might come. See, he comes from the outside, and they didn't. That should have been either the guard or the tackle on that side, Scott or Ken. They both doubled the end and let Choate come. They didn't check him.
Boy, he teed off on Brian Sipe a week ago. That's the 1st sack of the game, and only the 2nd this year that Atlanta's given up, showing you the improvement in that offensive line. 3rd down now, 14 yards to go. Now we have a flag They didn't get the playoff, delay a game. They didn't get it off in 30 seconds, so that'll add 5 yards to their problem.
It was really, again, they were in the 3-wide receiver set. They had the New England defense spread all across the field, but they took too much time.
Delay, offense.
So instead of having this drive started, or I should say this series started at the 50-yard line, now they're all the way back to their own 40-yard line. A third down coming up. A sack again, showing how important it is, because Atlanta was moving with a 10-point lead again, and all of a sudden Choate turned it around.
3rd and 19. That's when I always wanted to get a drink of water, and Bartkowski isn't going to let his coach. He called timeout, and he says, I want to go over and talk to you and see what you want to do on this play.
Well, they have only 1 timeout remaining, and we still have 2.5 minutes left in this third quarter, so Atlanta using their timeouts early in this football game.
You know, in the fourth quarter, or at the end of the fourth quarter, that could very well come back to haunt them. You like to save your 3 timeouts in one bunch in case you need them at the end of the game to get a score to tie or win. And now they've used 2, so of course with a 10-point lead, maybe it's not as important right now, but it very well could be in the last 2 minutes of this game.
There's Bartkowski, Lehman Bennett on the left, 4th year as coach. He came in here, they went 7-7, then they made the playoffs for the first time in the franchise history, going 9-7, then last year went 6-10. Who's he yelling for?
An idea. Third and 19, none of them work. You know, that's the one. What do you do? 3rd and 19. Now those 2nd and 2, of course, they're a lot of fun. Everyone wants to call that play. 3rd and 19, you tend to look around and yell a lot.
Boy, look at this. Philadelphia 28-7. They have been impressive in the first 2 weeks.
They sure have.
From the 40-yard line. 3rd down, as we mentioned, 19 yards to go. Bartkowski has the time, and he has his man, and that will be enough for the first down. Alfred Jenkins is the man that caught the ball on a 3rd and 19, a 21-yard strike, and the Atlanta Falcons keep the drive going.
We have seen some very interesting and great throwing today by 2 fine quarterbacks as we see Bartkowski. Look at all those people around him. He takes it and zips it out there for the first down. Now that, when you're 3rd and 19 and you have the confidence to go back there, stand in there and wait and complete it for a first down, that's something special, as is throwing out of your end zone, which Grogan did earlier.
Well, that offensive line has been something special. Jenkins had 50 catches last year. Coming up with that 21-yard grab, Bartkowski off to Andrews. Andrews this time is gang tackled. Boy, taking shots at him. The ball is loose. It may have been blown dead. I believe the ball was blown dead at the 40-yard line. Andrews made the mistake of standing up and not going down, and he had bodies flying everywhere after him.
Right, and it was after his progress was stopped. When his progress was stopped, the whistle blew, and the ball didn't come out until after that. You see, they do a good job. We see Nelson coming up here. He forces him. He makes the tackle. The 2 of them have him. Now, probably Andrews should have gone down right there. See, but as he went to turn, it looked like the ball came out. But the whistle did blow before he made that last twist.
That was Tim Fox who stripped him of the football. But at the 40 is where it's been set. They lost 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down 12 from the 40. 31-21, Atlanta with the lead. Bartkowski, nice play action. Miller again, and the big tight end's inside the 20. And he got down there in a hurry, didn't he? Tim Fox made the tackle.
It was a great catch. It was the same play that they had run early. Watch, they start this play fake. See, to hold those linebackers in and just run Miller straight up the field. There's no passing. And he throws it over the linebacker's head and in front of the secondary.
23-yard pickup to the 17.5-yard line. There it is again. What hands this big guy has. He's not only big and can run, but we've seen him latch on to some passes away from his body.
Right, and we see Tim Fox, number 48, make the tackle. That's the way to tackle him. You go and cut him below the knees.
James Mayberry has come in the backfield. He was in on that previous play. 9 seconds left in the third quarter. First down call, Bartkowski over the top to Jackson. And he's out of bounds. He got a little shove on that play from Sanford. And with 3 seconds left, now we have an altercation between Sanford and Jackson.
Again, I know what Jackson was upset about. He was upset that after he was out of bounds, he was pushed and maybe pushed into that wall down there. But the one thing, you can't take the officiating into your own hands. I learned that. As we watch this, you see, the ball is a nice thrown pass. It's right over his head into his hands. But as he's going out, you see, he's pushed. And in fact, he does end up in the wall, and he had a little time to think about it, and he said, heck, that guy pushed me.
Quite obviously.
Unsportsmanlike, 85 on offense, 29 on defense. Great play.
I think under the circumstances, that's the way it should have been, because it started with Sanford and Jackson retaliated.
It probably should have been, but they didn't call it on Sanford when he did it. It was an afterthought, and really it was a reaction that Jackson made that he shouldn't have made, and I don't know that Sanford, because of that, should be penalized.
Well, anyway, they're offsetting penalties, 2nd and 10. By the way, Miller now, John, has 8 catches for 116 yards.
Big day.
Line of scrimmage, the 17. 2nd down and 10. Last play of the 3rd quarter. Falcons with a 10-point lead and trying to add to it. Bartkowski gets it off the wing. Kane with a nice move, and he makes it to about the 11-yard line. And so that's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score here at Schaefer Stadium, the Atlanta Falcons 31, the New England Patriots 21. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Tuesday, the Dukes of Hazzard star in a special 2-hour TV movie presentation. Carnival of Thrills. The action never quits. Be there Tuesday at 8/7 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.